Good morning everybody. I myself Professor Y.T. Shinde, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Botany, Maharaja Jivajirao Shinde Mahavidyalaya Srigonda, District Ahmednagar. This college is affiliated by Savitribai Phule Pune University Pune. The lecture is going on SY BSc Choice Based Credit System Syllabus to be implemented from academic year 220 to 221, semester 3rd, paper 1st, taxonomy of angiosperms, credit 2nd, plant ecology. These credit carry 1 point and taxonomy angiosperm carry 1 point. Core score BO 231, taxonomy of angiosperm and plant ecology BO 232 carry 2 credit points, and practical is based on BO 231 and BO 232. Core score BO 233 carry 2 credit points. Total semester 3rd carry 6 credit points and semester 4th carry 6 credit points. Total SY BSc CBCS syllabus carry 12 credit points. This is my video lecture is only for educational purpose for SY BSc students. Today my lecture is going on ecology grouping of the plants, credit 2nd, plant ecology, and unit number 6. The surrounding or environment in which the organization lives is called a habitat. The surrounding on environment in which the organization lives is called as a habitat of a particular organism. The groups of plants and animals which grow under same set of environmental factors called edaphic factors or ecological factors. The modified characters of the organisms enables it to tolerate adverse environmental conditions and utilize them to the maximum advantage are known as adaptations. What is the adaptations? What is the habitat and what is the ecological groups? Water is universal solvent in which all the minerals are soluble. It is it is raw material for photosynthesis. Water is raw material for photosynthesis, and the water is universal solvent in which all the minerals are soluble. Water plays an important role in fertilization, pollination, and dissemination. Shortage or excess of water leads to many physiological effects in plants. Due to this, plants have to evolve some characteristic features in them to adapt water conditions. On the basis of water requirement or water conditions, warming in 1909 classified a plant community into 3 types: hydrophytes, mesophytes, xerophytes, and 4th halophytes. What is the hydrophytes, what is the mesophytes, and what is the xerophytes? Hydrophytes means aquatic plants or aquatic conditions of plants. Plants living in abundance of water or plants growing in the water is called hydrophytes, or plants require amount of water is called hydrophytes. Mesophytes means terrestrial plants. Mesophytes occur in intermediate positions between hydrophytes and mesophytes. They live in normal water conditions. That is, water is essential or important play in the plant. Xerophytes, plants growing in xeric conditions are deficient of water. Halophytes are salt tolerant plants. The halophytes are of also 2 types: salt marshes, mangrove vegetation, osmophilous halophytes. These are 2 types of halophytes. That is, warming in 1909 classified plant community into 3 types: hydrophytes, mesophytes, and xerophytes, and 4th is the halophytes. Halophytes means the plants which grow in marsh or small salt soils or salt marshes, that is mangrove vegetation, and osmophilous halophytes. These are ecological grouping of the plants and introduction of ecological groups. Then what is the hydrophytes? The hydrophytic plants are submerged, floating, free floating and amphibious. In submerged hydrophytes, that is Hydrilla, Ceratophyllum, Utricularia. In floating hydrophytes, Ecornia, Nymphia or Nilambia. In emergent hydrophytes, that is Sagittaria, Ranunculus and Cyperus. These are hydrophytic plants or examples of ecology grouping of plants. First, you study hydrophytes. Hydros, that is in Greek, hydros means water and phytos means plants. Plants growing in abundance of water are called hydrophytes. Plants growing in swamps and marshy lands are also called hydrophytes. Then the classification of hydrophytes. Hydrophytes are subdivided into 4 subgroups on the basis in which they are found in water. They are free floating hydrophytes, rooted hydrophytes, submerged floating hydrophytes and marginal or amphibious hydrophytes. These are 4 types of hydrophytes on the basis of requirement of water. Then first type, free floating hydrophytes. That is free floating hydrophyte, example Azolla, Ecornia and Pistia. Free floating hydrophytes, they float freely on the surface of water. They remain in contact with water and air only. Rooted hydrophytes with floating leaves, that is Nymphia, example Nymphia nilambo. These plants grow in shallow water. Their water roots are fixed in the underwater soil. Their roots are fixed in the underground soil or underwater soil. Leaves are long petiolate and helps to plant on the surface of water. Floating leaves are capture sunlight to perform photosynthesis. Example Nymphia nilambia. And Pistia is the example of free floating hydrophytes. Pistia is the example of free floating hydrophytes. Then rooted hydrophytes with free floating are other examples of Trappa. Then submerged floating hydrophytes. The plants of these groups are comparatively submerged in water. The submerged hydrophytes are divided into 2 types: submerged suspended hydrophytes and submerged rooted hydrophytes. In the submerged suspended hydrophytes, that is not attached to the bottom, example Hydrilla, and submerged rooted hydrophytes that is attached to the bottom, example Vallisneria. Vallisneria and Hydrilla are submerged floating hydrophytes. Then marginal or amphibious hydrophytes. These plants grow in shallow water. They require excess water and their root shoots are exposed to the air. Roots are completely underwater anchored to the soil and anchored into the soil. Example Typha, that is Pancanis, Cyperus, Lava, Ranunculus, Polygonum, Sagittaria. These are examples of hydrophytes. That is, the examples of hydrophytes are Hydrilla, Ceratophyllum, Utricularia, Ecornia, Pistia, Nymphia, Nilambio, Sagittaria, Ranunculus and Cyperus and Trappa and Typha. These are examples of hydrophytes. That is, hydrophytes are subdivided into 4 groups. Free floating hydrophytes, example Azolla, Ecornia, Pistia. Rooted hydrophytes with floating leaves, example Nymphia, Nilambio, Trappa. Submerged floating hydrophytes, example Hydrilla, Vallisneria. And marginal or amphibious hydrophytes, example Trappa, Typha, Cyperus, Polygonum, Ranunculus and Sagittaria. These are important plants of hydrophytes. Then you study, these are hydrophytic plants, Hydrilla, these are Ceratophyllum, these are Utricularia, these are Ecornia, free floating, but leaves are on the above the soil, above the water. Then these are Pistia, Azolla, these are Nymphia and Nilambia, Sagittaria, completely submerged in water but emergent leaf or emerges outside, Ranunculus, Cyperus, shallow water, example Cyperus or amphibious hydrophytes. Second example Typha. Then ecological adaptation in hydrophytes, example roots. These are only plants, and these are internal structure. That is, there is external features of hydrophytes. Here is the internal features of hydrophytes. That is, here is the internal features of hydrophytes, petiole and leaf, internal features of hydrophytes, root and stem. Then ecological adaptation in hydrophytes, external ecological features of roots, external ecological of roots. There is a chart of Hydrilla, Ceratophyllum, Utriculoria, Ecornia, Velisneria, Pistia, Sagittaria, Typha, Ranunculus, Cyperus, Nilambia, and Nymphia. What is the external features of hydrophytes? First, external features of roots. Root system is poorly developed. You see in the chart, here is a root. Root system is purely developed. Then root hairs are absent. Root hairs are absent in the root system. Then root caps are absent. So sometimes root pockets are present. Sometimes root pockets are present. In Ecornia, sometimes root pockets, here is the root pockets are present. Then poorly developed roots are adventitious and unbranched. Here is the advanced types of root system and branched types of root system. These are characters of ecological external characters of roots. Then roots act as balancing and anchoring organs. The functions of the roots is balancing and anchoring. These are functions of the roots. Then floating aerial roots are also developed. Floating roots are also developed. These are external features of roots. Then internal features of roots. These are Typha roots. Internal features of roots: lacunate xylem. Then there is a phloem. Center is the pith. Pith is surrounded by xylem. Then here is a lacunate xylem. Then phloem. Then pericycle. Then endodermis. Then inner cortex, outer cortex, inner cortex, middle cortex, and outer cortex. That is TS of Typha root shows circular in outline. Single-layered epidermis covered with thick cuticle. Then epidermis followed by epidermis is compactly arranged. It is followed by outer cortex. Outer cortex is also 1 to 2 layered. Then middle cortex is aerenchymatous. That is, there is air spaces. Then inner cortex is followed by middle cortex is followed by inner cortex. It is 1 to 2 layered. Then this is followed by single-layered endodermis, and single-layered endodermis is followed by pericycle. Below the pericycle, there is a patch of phloem and xylem. Xylem is lacunate, and at the center there is a single pith, or there is a single pith or pith. This is the structure of Typha root. Then second example, Potamogeton root. Potamogeton root shows single-layered epidermis covered with small thin cuticle. Then outer cortex, middle cortex with aerenchymatous, and with air chambers, and inner cortex with 1 to 2 layered. Then it is followed by patch of phloem, sieve tubes, parenchyma, and there is a single lacunate xylem. This is the structure of anatomical structure or ecological adaptations of hydrophytes roots, Potamogeton and Typha roots. Then Hydrilla stem. Ecological adaptations of Hydrilla stem, that is anatomy of Hydrilla stem and anatomy of Typha stem. Then Hydrilla stem shows circular in outline. It is covered with single-layered epidermis covered with cuticle. Epidermis is compactly arranged with chloroplast. Then it is followed by 1 to 2 layered cortex, and then cortex is followed by middle layer. It is aerenchymatous or aerenchyma. Then there is endodermis, single-layered endodermis with single-layered pericycle. Pericycle is followed by patch of phloem and single lacunate xylem. This is the vascular structure of Hydrilla stem, and Hydrilla stem shows there is absence of cuticle. That is xylem, phloem, pericycle, endodermis, cortex, then hypodermis, then epidermis. Then second anatomical feature is Typha stem. Typha stem shows epidermis, xylem is scattered in the phloem, then pericycle, and there is a small amount of cambium is present below the endodermis. Then parenchymatous cells, it is also called cortex, and air chambers. Then air chambers, in the air chamber there are scattered types of scattered sclerites, then parenchyma, then epidermis. It is followed by single-layered cuticle followed by single-layered compactly arranged barrel-shaped cells called epidermis with epidermal hairs. that is trace of trappa stem shows circular in outline, single epidermis with cuticle and unicellular hairs, then 2 to 3 layers of parenchymatous cells, then cortex, then arenchymatous cells, then parenchyma, endodermis, pericycle, cambium, xylem, phloem and interxylary phloem with single pith or patch of pith. This is the anatomical adaptations, ecological adaptations of Hydrilla root and stem. Then ecological adaptations of Hydrilla stem. Then ecological adaptations of petiole. Ecological petiole of Ecornia shows petiole, nymphaea petiole. Nymphaea petiole shows arenchyma, vascular bundles, sclerites, air space, parenchyma, hypodermis, epidermis. Then second we show potamogeton leaf, and there is a nymphaea leaf, here is a typha leaf. Case of typha leaf shows cuticle, upper epidermis, palisade tissue, air space, vascular bundles and sclerenchyma stomata. This is the patch of sclerenchyma, single layered epidermis punctured with single stomata. Here is the nymphaea petiole. Nymphaea petiole shows unicellular hairs, hypodermis, thick walled hypodermis, parenchymatous cells, air space, and here is the vascular bundle. Vascular bundle centrally is a xylem surrounded by a phloem. Then potamogeton stem shows, potamogeton petiole or Ecornia petiole shows single layered epidermis covered with thick cuticle, then hypodermis, then parenchyma with sclerites and single vascular bundles scattered in the cortex region. This is the ecological adaptations of Hydrilla, Ecornia, trappa, potamogeton, then typha. Here is Hydrophytes shows external features or external ecological features of Hydrophytes, internal ecological features of Hydrophytes, and free floating, rooted, submerged, marginal plants of Hydrophytes. This is the video lecture of SYBSc students, semester 3rd, paper 1st, plant ecology, and this video lecture shows, or on this video lecture there is questions on Hydrophytes, that is what is Hydrophytes, types of Hydrophytes, classification of Hydrophytes, what is ecological adaptations of Hydrophytes, external ecological features, internal ecological features. Thank you.